Hello everyone, welcome to YouTube channel of Developers and Coders Club NIT Agartala. This is Abhishek Verma and today I am going to discuss the latest LeetCode contest problem. The name of the problem is neighboring bitwise jar. So please pause the video and read the problem statement carefully. Okay, so I will explain the problem statement by taking a test case example. So let us suppose we have given an array, means this array is given to us. We have given an binary array. So this is the given array and we have to derive one more array from that array. So now the question is, what is the relation between these two arrays? So basically this array is given to us. This is the given array and we have to derive this array from the given array. So we have to find this array, means this array we have to find. So now the question is, what is the relation between these two arrays? So it is given in the question that x1 XOR x2 is equals to v of 0. That means if we do XOR of these two elements, means x1 XOR x2 or this 0 index and 1 index element, if we do XOR of these two elements, then the result is equal to v of 0. And if we do x2 XOR x3, then the result is equal to v of 1. And if we do x3 XOR x1, means something like circular array, first we do x1 XOR x2, then x2 XOR x3, then x3 XOR x1. Okay, so I am taking only three elements in the array and the array is up to n element. Okay, so you can analyze it further. So x1 XOR x2 is equals to 1, x2 XOR x3 is also equals to 1 because v of 1 is 1, and x3 XOR x1 is equals to v of 2, that is equal to 0. So now this array is given to us, means x1 XOR x2 is equal to 1, x2 XOR x3 is 1, and this is 0. So this array is given to us and this array we have to find. Basically our task is to find, means if basically what they are saying in the question is there any possible array, means is there any array, is there any possible values of x1 x2 or x3 possible or not for this given array. This is our task, means we have to just return true or false. So that means our task is to finding this array, means if it is possible to find this array, if then we have to return true, otherwise we have to return false. So this is the problem statement. So first of all, understand the problem statement, then we will analyze the solution or approach. So I hope you are able to understand the problem statement. Means basically we have to find this array. So now this question is totally depend upon a property of XOR. Basically if we do x1 XOR x2, then is equal to 1. So there is a XOR property, I will tell you. Yeah, this is the XOR property, means if a XOR b is equals to c. Okay, so if this is the case, wait, if this is the case, means if a XOR b is equal to c, then b is equals to c XOR a, means something like we can transpose this value toward this side, means then this will also correct. Okay, then this is also correct if this is the case. If you know this XOR property, then this question is very simple. Means there are so many ways of solving this question, but I'm saying one of them which I came in my mind when I saw the question first time. Okay, so if a XOR b is equal to c, then b is equal to c XOR a, and we can also find a from here a is equal to c XOR b, means we can simply transpose the next value towards the other side of the equality. So the question is totally dependent upon this property. Okay, so now let's see how we can apply this property on this question. So as it is given in the question that x1 XOR x2 is equals to 1. Okay, means x1 XOR x2 is equal to 1 and we have to find the values of x1, x2 and x3. So see, if x1 XOR x2 is equal to 1 and if anyhow we can find the value of x1. Okay, let us suppose I know the value of x1. Okay, this is our next task, how we can find the value of x1. But let us suppose currently I know the value of x1. Then if I know the value of x1, then we can easily find the value of x2, because x2 is nothing but x1 XOR v of 0 from that property. Means if we know the value of x1, then we can easily find x2 from here by using that property that x2 is equals to x1 XOR 1 or x1 XOR v of 0. Both are the same thing. So x1 XOR 1. If I do x1 XOR 1, then we can easily find x2. And if I find the value of x2, then we can easily find x3, because x2 XOR x3 is equals to 1, and for x3 we can simply do 1 XOR x2. So if I know the value of x1, then we can easily find the value of x2 and x3 also. Means if I know the value of the first element of this array, then we can easily find the values of all the elements of the array. So now our task is to find the value of the first element. Okay, so one more thing is given in the question, that the array is a binary array. means whether the value of x1 is 1 or the value of x1 is 0, means x1 is either 1 or 0. It is given in the question that the array is the binary array. So if the value of x1 is either 1 or 0, then why we can't consider both of the values? Because there are only two cases, so we can consider both the values one by one, and we can find the values of x2 and x3, means we can find the corresponding values of other elements also. So this is my approach, means we can consider the values of x1 both 1 and 0, and for both the cases we can find the values of the other elements also. And now the question is how we can get whether this array is correct or not, means whether this array is a correctly derived array or not. So after finding these values of x1, x2 and x3, if the XOR of the first element and last element is equal to the last value of the given array, means what I'm saying is, it is given in the question that x1 or x2 is equal to 1, so we can easily find x2 from here, and x2 or x3 is also equal to this element, so we can easily find x3 from here. And it is also given in the question that x3 or x1 must be equal to 0. So in both the cases, when x1 is 1 and when x1 is 0, if for any of the cases the XOR of the last element and the XOR of the first element is equal to the XOR of the last element of the given array, means x1 or x3 becomes equal to v of 2, then the answer is true, otherwise the answer is false. I hope you are able to understand the question. I will try one more time. Means we can find the value of x1 and x2 for both the cases, means by taking the value x1 is equals to 1 and also by taking the value x1 is equals to 0. For both the cases we can find the corresponding values of x2 and x3, and after finding these values we just satisfy from the last equation, means whether the XOR of the first element and the last element, because it is given in the question that this condition also must be satisfied. So if that condition satisfies, means x1 or x3 is equal to XOR of the last element, then the answer is true, otherwise the answer is false. So let's see the code and try to understand more. Okay, so this is the code, means what I am doing is I am taking both the cases, means first I am taking x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 0. Okay, this y is, means this is like x1 and this is like x2. Okay, don't confuse with y. This is like x2, sorry, not y2, this is x2, and this is like x1. Okay, so I'm not making a vector, means I am storing the values in the same variable, like when x1 is equal to 1 and when x2 is equal to 0, I am considering both the values and finding the XOR. Okay, means after exiting from this for loop, in x, x3 is stored for the for that example, and in y, also x3 is stored when the x is 0. Okay, so not x2, this is x1. Okay, so I'm taking both the cases when x1 is 1 and when x1 is 0, and I'm finding the XOR of the elements. So after finding the XOR of all the elements, what is there in the x1? The XOR of the last element. So if x XOR 1, y 1, because initially the value of x is 1. So if the first element and last element XOR is equal to the last value of the given array, then our answer is true, otherwise the answer is false. Means I am taking both the cases when the value of x1 is 1 and this case is when the value of x1 is 0. Means I am denoting x1 here by y, so that's why I'm using y. Okay, so in both the cases, if this is the case, then I'm returning true, otherwise I'm returning false. Okay, so this is it for the question. Thank you.